Vincent Willem van Gogh Zundert, March 30, 1853. Auvers-sur-Oise, July 29, 1890, was a Dutch painter, one of the main exponents of post-impressionism. He painted about 800 paintings, including 43 self-portraits and 148 watercolors, and made more than 1,600 drawings. From a young age, he had an inclination towards drawing. His first job was in an art gallery. Later, he became a Protestant pastor, and in 1879, at the age of 26, he left as a missionary to a mining region of Belgium, where he began to draw people in the local community. In 1885, he painted his first major work, The Potato Eaters. After dropping out of school and after a year at Zundert, Van Gogh began work in 1869 at the age of 16, as an apprentice at Goupil and Company, later Boussaud and Valadon, a major international art dealing company in The Hague. 4 years later, he was transferred to London to supply works of art to local shops. In May 1875, he was posted to Paris, where his love for art grew. At an exhibition of drawings by Jean-François Millet, at the end of March 1876, he returned to England, where he stayed for 2 years. Settled in Brussels, in 1880, he made friends with the Dutch painter Anton van Rappard. He enrolled at the Academy of Fine Arts, where he studied drawing and perspective. During this period, he made sketches and drawings based on the paintings of Jean-François Millet, depicting peasants and miners, models of everyday life, and painting them very realistically and with dark tones. In The Hague, his cousin Anton, a watercolor painter, advised him and insisted on the importance of learning perspective and drawing. Vincent then made his first watercolors and still lifes, using muted tones, as seen in the watercolors The Poor and Money, 1882, and Still Life with Cabbage and Wooden Clogs, 1881. In Nieuwenaar he was well received, where he produced works such as The Rectory Garden at Nieuwenaar in spring. During this period he devoted himself to drawing and painting the work at the looms. The painting The Weaver at the Loom, from May 1884, expresses the hardship and effort of this trade, but also the dignity of the character. Here, Van Gogh demonstrates solidarity and his identification with the protagonist, trying to represent the ideal of a society free of industrialization, and praises artisanal work. During the spring of 1885, he painted what is considered one of his great early works, The Potato Eaters. In November 1885, Van Gogh arrived in Antwerp, where he occupied a small studio above a paint shop. He bought some Japanese woodcuts from antique dealers and devoted himself to copying plaster models of ancient sculptures exhibited at the then Royal Academy of Antwerp, despite his disagreement with academic teaching. He discovered the paintings of Rubens, who, with their colors and feminine forms, opened up the alternative of using colors such as carmine and emerald green. He was particularly fond of ukiyo-e, which are Japanese prints that represent scenes of daily life, landscapes and portraits of actors and courtesans. He admired the technical mastery and visual narrative of these prints. Shortly before the end of his Parisian period, Van Gogh painted 3 portraits of Julien Tanguy, known by all artists as Père Tanguy, in whose back room Van Gogh, Gauguin, Cézanne, and Seurat had exhibited their works. On the 21st of February 1888, Van Gogh arrived in Arles, in the south of France. He painted the surrounding nature, the wheat fields, the marshes of the Rhône Delta, and the canal south of Arles, which he reflected in various works, such as the Langlois Bridge. During this period, he began to use the undulating brushstrokes and intense yellows, greens, and blues that characterize his later paintings. Vincent van Gogh produced all of his work, around 900 paintings and 1,600 drawings, over a period of only 10 years.